Hey guys, how's it going? Remington here, and today I'm with you for a review of yet another Android launcher. Now you'll see this isn't actually the stock launcher. I have modified it just a little bit more to my taste, but without further ado, let's go ahead and look at Microsoft's Arrow launcher for Android. Now this is, I know I say this a lot, this is my new favorite. Ola launcher got really annoying, especially with all the self-promotion almost. It told me almost every day, hey, it's sunny out, and I look out my window, I was like, hey, it's raining. And it was just really annoying, and it kept on asking me to rate it 5 stars, it kept on asking me to download different Ola apps, and it really got on my nerves. So I came across Arrow launcher, and Arrow launcher is Microsoft's launcher, and it is so clean. It is very professional. I feel like if you were in a work environment, this launcher would help you so much with getting work done. So that's why I like it so much. So let's go ahead and go over some of the features. You can see here we have different pages. We have apps, notes and reminders, people, recent, and widgets. And basically each of these pages has its own purpose. So I can't put my apps on the notes and reminders page, I can't put notes and reminders on my people page, I can't put people on my recent page, and I can't put recent things on my widgets page, I can't put widgets on my apps page, which it is a little bit inconvenient at times, but you know, I learned to work around it, and it's actually really beneficial to me now because I have a nice organized system. Another thing is all the apps are sorted by how much you use them. So you can see Instagram up here in the upper left is used the most, then Studio, YouTube Studio, then Amazon, Gmail, Imager, Play Store, YouTube, Snapchat, all the way down to AZ Screen Recorder, which I actually want to hide. That's another feature. You can just hide apps, and you can also get info about them if you drag them over there. I'm just going to hide this, which means it will go down to my app dock, and you see here, this is kind of like the, oops, open that up, kind of like the command center for iOS, which is another nice feature. I'll go over that more in a little bit. So with this, you can actually just add apps by opening your app drawer here. You can see it is sorted alphabetically, and you can just click them and drag them on. So let's see, what's an app that I don't have on my, we'll drag Compass on. You can see we just have to drag it to add to page, and voila, you can see it's already added and it's already in order. And you'll notice it's a little bit inconvenient, but you can't move the app into a position that you want it. It has to stay sorted the way it is, otherwise it just, I don't know, it's kind of stupid, but I've learned to like it, and I really hope Microsoft does fix this in the future. I've seen a lot of requests for it. So let's go over to the Notes and Reminders page, and on the Notes and Reminders page, you can basically just set all your reminders right from your screen here. So you can say I can add an item. Let's say I want to eat dinner. Oops. Eat dinner. Alright, and then I click check, and you can see, voila, it's added. That easy. And now let's say I wanted to be reminded to eat dinner, 6:19 right now. Let's say I want it to remind me at 6:21. And now it'll remind me if I turn my volume on here. We'll see if it goes off. And also, in addition to that, let's say I have release a video on Saturday right here. This is actually the video I'm making right here. So actually I'm making the video right now. So if I wanted to be notified, once again I could just hit that. If I want to delete it, we can go ahead and do that. And then also if we click this little checkbox over on the left here, you'll see all of a sudden it moves down to this thing called completed. And you can see we have 3 different things I completed. I finished my homework, I am awesome, and I released a video on Saturday even though I didn't. And then these can be cleared just by tapping the X. You can also add favorites, and I believe favorites will stay at the top. So if I just type in a bunch of nonsense up here, oh, I guess not, but you get the general concept. I guess it really just makes it stand out more. Then we have our people tab, and from our people tab you can see all the people I've recently contacted, which hopefully all of them are okay with me having them in this video. I mean, I guess I don't have anybody's actual face except for Jessica, who's part of a channel network I'm trying to partner with. But you can see I have all these people. So let's say I wanted to text my dad, I could come over here and I just click this little thing, and you can see, well, here's him trying to type out the name of a road, and Siri is horrible, as you can see up there. And then if I tap on his name, you can see I get the option to call him. I also get the option to text him, and I have this little third option. Oh, and there we go. You can see reminder, eat dinner, and it's playing noises, and you can see I can snooze it, complete it, or close it. But if I tap on that dot dot dot, it brings me to the contacts page where I can do more. Now let's go ahead and go over to the recent tab, and the recent tab is basically all your recent apps and all your recent conversations. I really don't find it useful to have this page. I'll come back to that later. And then I have my widgets page. On my widgets page, all I really have is just my big Google Play Music app, because that's just about the only widget I ever use. So now let's say I don't want to see my recent apps anymore. What I can do is I can come to my screen right here and I can tap and hold on a blank space. And you can see I have my People tab right here. Oops, I screwed that up. Now I should probably be able to do it right here too, yep. I just come to the tab that I want to remove and I click this little eyeball in the upper right and it's gone. And I can do the same for the recent tab. And it's gone, just like that. And now you can see all I see is my apps, widgets, and notes and reminders, which are the things that I usually like to keep. And since I'm done eating dinner, apparently, we're going to go ahead and check that and then delete it, and voila. So now let's go ahead and look at this little drawer down here. I don't really know what to call this. It's like the command center for iOS, but you can see I can hold 4 or 5 different apps that I typically use. In my case, I have messaging, Kik, my phone, and then Chrome. And then if I swipe up, well, I guess also the app drawer. But then if I swipe up, I can see I also have other commonly used apps. Now these you can customize. You can put them in whatever order you want. You can put whatever apps in here you want. This is all customizable, which is nice. It's definitely what made me stay with it, because this is the whole randomly organizing things really bothered me, especially since apps tend to move around. But when it gets to this, it's a lot easier. So you can see I also have a couple different options here. I can put my phone in airplane mode. I can turn on and off Wi-Fi, turn on and off Bluetooth, and turn my flashlight on, turn my flashlight off. I can also enable screen rotation, which I won't be able to rotate it anymore. And I can also change my screen brightness right from here. And it's really useful, especially because it's just, you don't have to reach all the way up to the top of the screen to pull this menu down. You can just swipe up just like that. And it does have a nice closing animation. It either smoothly goes in, or if you push it down, it'll bounce, which doesn't quite make sense to me. I think it should be the other way around, but it's just an animation. Doesn't really matter that much. From here you can also edit your different pages and also edit the arrow settings. And since we're in the arrow settings, we can go ahead and look at some different things. We have the option up the top to change the wallpaper, leave feedback, and then we have the option to go to the system settings. We can always check for updates. I don't want to check for an update right now though. We can set a default launcher, and I already have it set as my default, but we'll set it again. We can view all the hidden apps that we have, which means anything that's not on the home page. And then if we can also use icon packs, and this is something new to me. I just discovered this the other day. So Arrow by default, this is what the apps look like. It's all the same app icons that you had before. Nothing fancy. Actually, it looks like the gallery changed, calculator changed, camera changed. And to be honest, I really do not like the look of any of those app icons. So what we can do to fix this is just by downloading App Pack. Now I use Candy Cons. So if I go down here, you can see Candy Cons, and if I enable it, voila, all of my apps look a lot cleaner. Now if I swipe up again here, and I go to settings, and I change it to, say, Rondo, you can see, wow, all of a sudden all my apps look really clean and really nice, except for my compass and night clock, but that's because there aren't icons made for them. Now I'd recommend both of these because they're both really, really good icon packs. As you can see, they cover almost every app I have except for that compass. On my home screen at least, which is the ones I actually use. But I'm going to set that back to Candy Cons. And you can see I like Candy Cons a lot more because it's a little bit more customized. Not everything's a circle. It's a little bit, it's uniform but a little bit ununiform. You can see I can also set my default SMS app, and then I can also change the language. You see there's a couple different languages here. I can paginate my widgets. So here, I'll show you this in a second here. Alright, so actually on my widgets page, I can add more widgets. So let's say I move this like this, and then I want to add another widget, and I want to add, let's see here, we'll add something long. Email. You can see I have my email widget here, oops. And I don't have my email currently hooked up to this, but you can see I can actually scroll down to see all my other widgets. Now, if I were to come over here in my settings, and I were to look at widgets pagination and I turn that on, now my widgets, it looks like, yeah, there you go. So you can see I kind of swipe up and down. So instead of being that loose thing, it just immediately snaps, and you can see the little scroll bar over on the left here and also on the right. So that's a useful feature, especially for those of you that don't want to have to deal with that. I'm going to just go ahead and delete this widget though, and we'll move this back up. That's a little bit funky moving widgets between pages, but I'll get used to it. So let's go ahead and look at some more of the settings. We can see that it also has double tap the screen to lock. So if I just come over here and I just double tap, voila, my screen turns off just like that. And it's a really useful feature. And then it also just has a couple other things. You can see help us improve, provide feedback, just a couple other random features. So now let's come up into the app drawer once again. And you can see that everything is sorted in alphabetical order except for a few things. So up at the top we have our recent apps, and you can see I've recently been in Contacts, Kik, Imager Studio, all those apps. And then we also have this thing called new apps, which are recently installed apps. In addition, you can also search apps. So if I wanted to find YouTube, voila, YouTube comes up just like that. And you can also search by alphabetical order by coming over here, which is a feature that was in Ola Launcher that I really loved, but no other launcher had until I discovered Arrow Launcher, so thank goodness I found another one. You can also search widgets, which I think is a little bit funky, because I've never had the option to search widgets before, but you can see I can add an analog clock to my widgets page just like that. I really don't have any use for an analog clock on my widgets page, but you know, it gives me the possibility to, so I don't see why not. One thing I really don't like about this though is you can't set wallpapers with apps. So you're actually going to have to download an image and set the wallpaper. You can't have any of those parallax wallpapers. You can't have any of those fancy 3D wallpapers that change when you angle your phone. It's really unfortunate and it's a little bit disappointing, but hopefully that'll come in the future. But other than that, that just about sums up this overview for Arrow Launcher. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you'd like to see more videos like this, be sure to hit subscribe and also leave a comment telling me that you enjoyed this video. I love reading your guys' comments and it really helps me develop this channel. I post a new video almost every Wednesday and Saturday. I try my best to do it. So if you'd like to see some of these videos, be sure to hit subscribe. So thank you guys for watching and I'll see you guys later. Adios. How many of you guys have wanted free graphics for your channel in the past? I'm guessing a lot of you have. And I was once in that point too. I needed an intro, and that's actually what got me into this whole graphics stuff. Anyway, pushing that aside, if you guys want free graphics for your channel, I now have this really awesome thing called a referral system on my website.